How are y'all doing? I am good. Let me move this closer. Yeah. Okay. So it is February 16th, Sunday, so it's 2 days after Valentine's Day, and we don't have notes today. We're just gonna go on the cuff. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna tell this something about Valentine's Day, being celibate 2 years. Yes, I've been celibate. I gotta use the right words because there's abstinence. I think abstinence means that you're not gonna have sex at all. And celibate means that you're abstaining from sex for a certain period of time. And baby girl, we are not abstaining for the rest of our lives. So it's been 2 years of celibacy. I think I said that right. If I said it wrong, it'll be fixed in post. So we're off the cuff. I don't have any notes, and we're just gonna talk this thing through, okay? Me and you. So, combating lust, talking about things like that. It's Valentine's Day, all the things. I strategically decided to do this after Valentine's Day, so in case some of my girlies decided, as a Christian, fall, or, not everyone's a Christian, just decide to have sex and now you regret it. Let's talk about it. Let's get through this. Let's really bring this to the forefront. So, I think as a woman, we hold the keys to sex, straight up. We do. And so unless that you've been violated, we're not talking about those situations. We will have a time and place for that. But, we hold the keys to sex, okay? We are the incubator. We are the home. We are the party starter. We have it, right? And so with this power, I feel like us as women have let this really fall behind our waysides and fell into the idea that hookup culture is for us. And hookup culture is not for us. It is for men. I'm jumping straight into it. Hey, how are y'all? Sorry. But yeah, we try to make it seem like hookup culture is for us. It is not for us. Hookup culture is not for women. And let me tell you why. Because us as women, we cannot keep denying biology, women. We naturally feel. We naturally move on emotion. We naturally move on the things we're feeling, the things we're doing. That's why when we're on our periods, we have a tougher time being nice. We have a tougher time being happy for things because we just move on emotion, which is a good thing. It is a good thing to move on emotion sometimes. It is a good thing to have emotion and compassion for people. Those are good things, but we can't always move on those things. But we do. Okay, that's why we got men and we got women. It's supposed to be a cute little sandwich to help us both move strategically. But, anyways, so as we move with emotion, a lot of times, hookup culture is hard. It is hard for us to fully, I'm not saying it's impossible, it is hard for us to fully, I'll say the word enjoy loosely for a better term, hookup culture in the way that it is presented to us. You hook up with him, you don't care, you move on with your day. But us girls, we care. Okay, you don't gotta lie to me, baby girl, we care. Okay. So, like we move on, whatever. We try to make this man jealous. We do something with another man, all these things. Trust me, I was there. Y'all gotta lie to me. So it doesn't help us out. And I feel like men are running rapid. Men are running rampage. They got these microphones and saying crazy stuff because us as women, not blaming us. Okay. I'm saying what we can do to fix it. Okay. I'm not saying that's all our fault. What I'm saying is us as women, now what we can do in response is continue to hold them keys tightly. Okay. Lock and key. So that's basically how my celibacy journey started. Okay. I would have been celibate 3 years, but I messed up. Okay. So I messed up. So what happened was okay, story time. Okay, what happened was, I was in this relationship and it wasn't really a relationship, it was a situationship and it wasn't really going so well and we broke it off, right? And this was like a while ago, maybe like 5 years ago, four maybe. And so I was like, oh, it's not gonna work out, that's fine. So, we talked and it just wasn't working out, so we gave up. But, it was like kind of an out of town type of thing. Like we were long distance. So he would come back And, you know, we used to do some stuff. And me as a woman, you know, in my innate behavior, which means something that automatically responds as a woman, just because you're a woman, you get certain responses, triggers. So because of that, I, you know, was feeling some type of way. I was upset about it. I was like, man, I thought we were, you know, getting back together, all the things. And we weren't. So one time I realized, I was like, oh, like we're really not getting back together. So, you know, he comes over in his natural fashion and, you know, he's expecting things from me. And I'm like, no. And he looked at me crazy. And he was like, what you mean? Like, you know, you my baby. I was like, I'm not your baby. I'm not your baby. And he was like, come on, like, please. And it was so crazy because, you know, he was like, really like, come on, like this and that. Like, he didn't pressure me or anything. Well, kind of. But it was just like a strange thing that I was not, you know, I was like, oh, what? I don't know. I don't want to. And so that bettered my decision to literally not do it. And I was like, yeah, no. And after that situation, I was like, you know what? Like, no, I'm not gonna do anything with these men. And mind you, I was not Christian at the time. Okay, this was before I was Christian. I was not being celibate for God. I was being celibate because I was like, you know, I'm tired of men treating me any type of way. I don't know. I don't agree with it. So I stopped doing it. And there was a certain, we'll call it power, that I received that I realized I had because I did not let them have sex with me. And it was so crazy because, you know, men would come and go and say these things, and then it wouldn't last because I wouldn't have sex with them. And, you know, I wasn't being perfect. I wasn't, it might remember, this was not before God, okay? So I was still doing a bunch of crazy stuff, but I was not, you know, having sex with him. And it was just so crazy because they all of a sudden, like gave up, you know, they gave up. If I wasn't doing anything, they gave up. And so it was freeing to know that I did not just give away my body to these men and, you know, they could, a piece of me was gone. Okay. I didn't feel any of that. So it felt really good to know that I did not go forward with, you know, going to the next step with these men. And so, after that, you know, I was like enjoying it, stuff like that. Now, you know, like long story short, you know, fell with the old thing and all these things. But, you know, after that, you know, I officially gave my life to Christ. This was like 3 years ago. I gave my life to Christ. I was like, yeah, no, I give up on that. And then so I now fully am walking in celibacy for the Lord. And it is completely different. Now, that's how I was able to make it twice as long as I did when I did it on my own strength. Testimony. So, anyways, um, yeah, so the big thing nowadays, because last time I did on my own strength, and mind you, I was still like, you know, watching some things I wasn't supposed to be watching back in the day, and I was still texting men late at night, and I was still doing this and that, but somehow my own strength, I was able to do it for a year, right? But it didn't last. So now this time, 2 years, right? 2 years now we're in the game as a Christian and even as not a Christian. I'm giving you some tips to combat literally not letting this power of sex come over you anymore, right? We're in the season now. This is girls talk. This is girl chat. Just us girls. We're in a season now where we want to be married. We're tired of playing games. We're tired of men, you know, reacting in a certain way or not treating women with respect. We have to demand respect now, okay? Once again, not blaming women, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to do something, right? We say as women, we got to do something. We got to this, we got to that. We have power that we have not tapped into. Okay. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to help us play the right game, not the long game, not the short game, the right game. Okay. Is not, the right game is withholding that cookie, withholding that incubator, withholding that treasure. Okay. I don't know what bank y'all go to that tells y'all to just to let all that money go. I don't know what pirate told you that whenever they have a bucket of treasure, they just give it to everyone. No, they hold on to that. That's what we about to do this season. Walk with me, talk with me. This is how I have fully walked in, not, you know, not falling into lust. Okay, I can say fully for the past 2 years and going, because I think I'm like 2 years and like 5 months in, I have not struggled with lust, with, I mean, missing relationships, of course, but I have not struggled with lust. I have not fallen into watching those things. I have not fallen into um entertaining a situationship. I have not fallen into any of those things. I have not even like kissed. I have not fallen into any of those things. And here's how, with the Spirit of the Lord, yes. And there are disciplines that you put in place to not fall into lust. The thing is like, lust is not just sexual things. Lust is lust of, you can lust after attention. Okay, that was my let me tell you how much I love attention. So lust, you could lust after attention. You need attention. You got to have it. It's just like an itch. Okay, you can lust after money. You can lust after, like, you know all the things. There's a lot of things you can lust over. So with that being said, first came the crushing of my lust for attention. So after I gave God my full yes, I fully did not like contact these men that were not for me. Okay, what do I mean by that? I remember there's this man who came into my DMs one time, and he was Christian, so he said, and he like sent Bible scriptures into my DMs and like wanted to hang out and all this stuff. And I was like, like, I wonder if this is a good thing. So I waited, right? I waited before I responded. I didn't just fall into like responding and talking to him. And, the Lord was like, that's not your husband. And I cut it out immediately. And that was the first lesson I learned. When it is not it, cut it off immediately. Okay. I believe every woman is partly prophetic. Okay. Every single one. It don't matter if you know God or not. Every single woman is prophetic. Okay. What does that mean? That means that you have this thing in you where something's not right, where that girl that you've been friends with is talking about you. When your mom says, some of my spirit don't feel right about that girl, that's what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm talking about now. When he's not it. Early. I'm talking about early. And if you don't know, your friend knows. Okay. So my suggestion is to take that before the Lord and bounce. Okay, you're playing games. You fall into lust trying to play. I'm just serious. If we really want to get out of this, you'll fall into lust trying to play. So every time I would talk to a man and he would come up to me or whatever have you, and he was like mesmerized by me or whatever. And that was another thing too. I wanted in my relationships to be obsessed over, and that got ripped from me quick, because that is lust. And we're trying to stay away from lust. So anytime something came to me like that, I fled. Okay. I did not stay. I did not communicate. I did not talk late at night, even though I wanted to so badly, because I was addicted to it. I did not do it because, one, it's not in my own strength. I literally prayed and prayed and prayed. But that's what I'm saying. I fled. I took the disciplines that God taught me in prayer and I applied them. So I fled. There was someone coming to me. I fled. There was someone I was supposed to be talking to. I fled. I did not talk back. I did not text back. I've had to unfollow all my exes. I've had to, I had to unfollow. And we don't even talk like that. But I don't follow my exes, because late at night, think you playing a song that reminds you of the old days. You replaying that song. You think about that ex. You like, oh, flee. Okay, so that's another thing that had to go. The music. SZA had to go. Summer Walker had to go. Okay, I'm just trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to tell y'all what worked. These people had to go. Now, do I listen to only gospel music, soaking music? No, I don't. But the music that caused me to sin would not be played in my ears. Okay. So Drake had to go. Okay. All twerk music had to hurry up and get out my door because there was no, I was determined to not have this issue. I've been wrong. I don't know if I'm speaking for myself, but I have been wronged by, and I'm not going to say, it's men's fault. It's the spirit and principalities behind it. But I've been wrong so many times by things I already knew. Ladies, I'm speaking to y'all. Ladies, things that we already knew. We knew he wasn't it and we got wronged by him. Not anymore. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to keep playing this game. Okay? And if you're at that point right now, please heed my words. You do not play with fire or you will get burnt up. You cannot play with this. Okay? That's how we end up being celibate until our husband comes, because we do not play with the fire. We walk away from it. Don't be talking late nights. Don't be entertaining these things. If you're on the dating apps and they start talking about certain stuff and what you look like and what you're wearing, flee. Don't entertain it. That's what I'm saying. It's not coming from the right place. It's not if it's not coming from the right place, jump up out of there. And that's how you fall, because that's my thing. Nobody accidentally cheats. Okay? Nobody. There is times and moments where you lead up to cheating. Same thing with lust. Same thing with watching these videos. You want to entertain it. You entertain it. You look at a couple pictures on Instagram. You still follow those people who, guys, for girls, guys who wear shirts off and Aaron Pierre and all this stuff, and you keep looking at it and you're like, oh, it's harmless. It's not. It's a seed planted, y'all. I'm telling y'all. If you're sick of this, if you're sick of falling to lust, please listen. Because you see something, you don't address it, you know it's not right, you know it's not going to take you towards your goal of staying celibate till your husband comes, then do not fall into it, because it's a seed planted. And then, you ever so often you keep looking at those people online that are making you lust after them, but you don't follow them. You keep meditating on it on accident. Keep watching. Then it gets, you feel like you have the capacity to keep watching other things. This is how we work. This is how our brain works. Isn't that crazy? So then, you start watching like videos again. You start listening to people again because you think you got it. You like, I got it. I can handle this. Then it just keeps getting worse and worse. And now, you start texting people a little bit and all these things. And now you're like, oh, I can handle this. It's fine. And then you meet that. And then the final boss, the devil brings you the final boss, the person that is there, the person that looks like that girl on social media that you keep looking at and keep liking her pictures. That person who they talk to you the way you like, they tickle your ear, they tell you all your sweet little things you want to know. They just stroke on your feelings. And then now you're stuck. And now you see the most perfect example of what you want. All of the lust in front of you. How could you say no? You didn't say no when you was liking that person's pictures. You didn't say no when you was texting people late at night. You didn't say no when you was entertaining that all the stuff they got going on. How could you say no to this one now? Oh, now you got no, now you can't. No, that's not how it works. It is the same way that, resilience and discipline is built up, the same way lust is built up. Okay? It's a seed planted. It's not all at once. Same thing with everything else. So if we truly want to break off this lust, y'all, we got to pray, we got to fast, we got to do all these things, but we also have to say no. We cannot do everything. We have to know ourselves. And that was another thing too. We have to know our triggers. My personal trigger is I really like artsy men. I really like men who are creative, who do something with their hands, who film, writing, design, what's it called? Fashion design, clothing brand, whatever it is. artist, whatever it is, I eat it up. All right. So when I see someone, you know, one of my exes start doing something, which I unfollow all my exes anyway, but one of my exes started doing something that's artistic, creative, all these things, I gotta unfollow. I know they're not the one for me. So why am I entertaining it? Pick up when I put it down. So it's like to truly go forward in what you want, in the plans that you want for yourself. You want that husband, you want this, you want that, you want to stop falling into lust, you want to start falling into all these things. You have to say no to the small stuff. Okay, it's small to follow all your exes. It's small to like their pictures. It's small to be like, oh boy, you so funny. It's small to text people late at night. It's small, but it builds up to where when the final boss happens, you're gonna lose. You haven't been training. What battle could you ever win when you haven't been training? I don't know of one. So it's the same thing. We need to exchange these weapons that we think we have for new ones because they suck. They don't work. Okay? We need to train up these weapons that are actually going to work. And what weapons are going to work? Resilience. Saying no when needs to be no. Wisdom. Wisdom to run. Okay? Stop entertaining these things. It's not the easiest thing. Now trust, in these past 2.5 years, it is not the easiest thing to break off the spirit of lust. But it has been easier than other things because I've chose to literally not entertain it. Don't entertain strongholds. Destroy them. Don't entertain the devil. Flee. You'll lose. Like, you got to understand your battle. You'll lose every time. So don't even entertain it. You know what's up. You know when you're feeling, you know this. And especially as women, we be knowing. Don't entertain. All 2025, forever. And I trust you looking at the other side, looking at the person I am now, it is worth it. Let me tell you, it's worth it. Okay? Mind you, I'm not married. I'm not dating. I'm not even seeing anyone. There's no potentials out here. But one thing that I know is that because of my obedience, the Lord is going to bless me. He just is. And even then too, even if he doesn't, the freedom and peace I've had from people not being able to just contact my phone with some, oh, you up, oh, this, oh, that, oh, let me come over. The fact that none of that is around me anymore is freeing. The fact that none of like me wanting attention so bad is freeing. I am free from that. And that is enough. You know, I believe the husband will come. I believe, you know, I won't be abstinent, celibate anymore forever. I believe all these things. I believe I'll have kids, all these things. But even if the Lord does not provide that, I am free. My mind is free. I don't have crazy dreams at night anymore of sexual dreams. I don't have those things anymore. And that's just because I listened to what God said and I did the obedience. I did the obedience walk. It's a walk. Okay? It's not a run. It's a walk. But I had to make that first step. And what? Denying those people. Denying my flesh. But yeah, that was some talk. I feel like I was just bashing y'all in all day. I really do love y'all. And if you ever want to talk about it, like, my Instagram DMs are open. There we go. Because I'm like, how can it be a personal message? But my Instagram DMs are open. If you want to talk about anything with lust, anything with celibacy, even if you don't know Christ and you're like, hey, girl, you know, I can't get down with the Jesus thing, but I really, really, really am so tired of these men just... Me personally letting these men just do me like this. I want change. I want something different. Hit your girl up, okay? Because we're not doing this again. We will not be the same next year because, girl, it wasn't cute last year and it's still not cute this time. So I love y'all so much. I am praying for y'all and we're gonna get through this. You know, we're gonna turn around this next year and be like, you know what? I've grown so much as a woman, and a lot of people in my life who weren't supposed to be there have exited, and I have peace. So I appreciate y'all so much. I will talk to y'all next week. hopefully on time. All right. Bye.